So this is Diesel for We the People News. So I keep up with this civil rights attorney, and he'll give you a little bit more information. So a while back there was a video went viral about a lady judge on YouTube going to a man's house and forcing everything on him and all this kind of stuff. Well, this is an update version on that, okay? And this was in, I believe it was Virginia, and I believe this is where he's out of from. And anyway, this was interesting news because we don't ever get to hear or see what's going on behind the bar unions and how they do certain things. And there's still a lot we don't know, right? But this actually gives a lot of insight of what's going on when judges are fighting judges and prosecutors are fighting and this, that, here, and there. Arguing back and forth behind closed doors that we never get to see. So this is Diesel for We the People News. Never, never, never look straight forward. Always look around you, for the outside forces may want to commit harm upon you. This is a learning video. Alrighty? And check this guy out. You know how I am about attorneys, but as attorney-wise, he's good. He's really and generally trying to do right things. Okay? I think he fell into the mix, right? The way everybody's been raised. So, here we go.
Good evening, I'm John Bryan. If you've been following our case of the West Virginia family court judge who was caught on video searching my client's house, and as well as the ensuing judicial disciplinary prosecution which has accompanied it, then you will really like to check out the report that we uploaded to the website, thecivilrightslawyer.com, today. And that is a report from the lawyer investigators, the prosecutors, if you will, who take on lawyers accused of ethical violations and misconduct. And here's what happened. They went back through everything that happened, and they investigated allegations against the family court judge who was trying to protect the judge from our case, and completely ripped apart his allegations and called him out on it. And it's, in fact, I'll just read it to you. So this is a report from the West Virginia ODC investigating certain allegations made by another family court judge, Judge Glenn R. Stotler of the 23rd Family Court District, which is Hampshire, Mineral, and Morgan counties in West Virginia. Also a member of the Judicial Hearing Board that was supposed to hear this particular case. And in any event, he sent a letter March 25th, 2021. And in the letter, he makes all sorts of allegations against the judicial prosecutors who are investigating Judge Goldston, who is the judge from the family court judge search case. From the video, if you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch it. He makes all these allegations about the prosecutors in regards to the handling of that case, saying that they, they used unfair tactics, that they ambushed the judges, that they didn't tell them that they should have gotten a lawyer first before talking to them, and he complained that they were put under oath, and so what that triggered was an investigation to start, and be careful what you wish for, right? So an investigation started from the ODC, the Office of Disciplinary Counsel, who investigates lawyers, and they reopened everything and went through everything and questioned everybody again, and questioned the judges involved again, questioned even the prosecutors again, and laid everything back out from another point of view and completely blew all of the allegations out of the water. And in fact, here is a quote from the end of it, and this is their words, not mine. It is shocking that a long-standing member of the judiciary, bestowed with the honor of being part of the system designed to protect and preserve the integrity of the judicial system would make such baseless accusations designed to solely impugn the integrity of two members of the West Virginia State Bar. It does not appear that the family court judge Stotler conducted any factual investigation into the allegations regarding judicial disciplinary counsel before regurgitating the untimely, unsupported allegations made by family court judge Goldston from the video, and sending an ex parte communication written on his official court letterhead to the Supreme Court. Additionally, the judicial branch of government has the exclusive authority to regulate the practice of law in the state of West Virginia, but family court judge Stotler's letter was also sent to members of the legislature. The law is not an arena where we vilify civility, curse through preparation, and denigrate skilled, zealous advocacy. And in the end, they went through all of the allegations and found that they were pretty much all false, and that the judicial prosecutors had done nothing wrong. And in fact, in doing this, Judge Stotler had acted outrageously, improperly, ignorantly, I think they said, and basically wasn't fit to even serve on the Judicial Hearing Board. And so I don't know if he's been kicked off the Judicial Hearing Board, but obviously he's out there serving right now as a family court judge. And I don't know if anybody knew this, but now we have this report finding that he had made basically all these false allegations and improperly used his position as a judge to try to interfere in this disciplinary case and try to get the Supreme Court to change, to decide the case his way when he wasn't even involved in the underlying facts of the case. But you can review this entire report. It's up at the website at thecivilrightslawyer.com. I'm including what I just read. It's like 50 pages long, and it has everything in it. And so light up a cigar and pour a glass of whiskey and go through it. It really is interesting reading, and it goes through a lot of the stuff that we never get to hear about, and that's all this judicial disciplinary process. And it says exactly how the prosecutors proceed from step one all the way through the end. And it's really interesting. But even more interesting is so on the same day that this report was submitted, that's when this resolution was submitted by the family court judges. Through their association, the West Virginia Family Judicial Association, they doubled down on the same day that this report was released, finding that Judge Stotler had made these false allegations. The association itself then came out and basically remade the same false allegations. I'm presuming they didn't know about the report that was just finalized that same day of their resolution. So, shockingly, they castigated Judge Stotler in this report, and an unknown number, a bunch of sitting family court judges who comprise this association did the same exact thing and signed off on the same exact day. So let me, if you don't understand the consequence of this, the report from the body who investigates lawyers makes a great case that Judge Stotler isn't fit to be a member of the Judicial Hearing Board, which brings the question whether he's fit to be a presiding judge at all. Somebody who would make false allegations and engage in misconduct himself, and sending this letter to the Supreme Court and so on. And it's all laid out there in the report. Now, instead of just one other judge being called into question, we have all of the members of the West Virginia Family Judicial Association basically doing the same thing. So who...
Now, on the Supreme Court thing, this may be an opportunity about the absolute immunity. So there may be some type of crack in this immunity thing, right? So if the Supreme Court go ahead and goes through this, and the immunity and all this issue brought up, maybe we can get some cracks on these judges of the absolute immunity part.
Are they? This body is completely comprised of sitting West Virginia family court judges. And now a majority of them at this meeting, was it all of them at the meeting? I don't know. Are we talking about, 20, 30, 40 family court judges? All signed on to a resolution making the same unfounded, unsubstantiated, ignorant, and inappropriate allegations against the judicial prosecutors, and asking the Supreme Court to fire the prosecutors. Everything that was just completely castigated in the 50-page report that I just posted on the website. All these family court judges, we don't even know which ones they are yet, have signed on to this. So that really raises a lot of questions about cases that are pending in counties all over the state of West Virginia, important issues of child custody, of finances and divorce, of domestic violence proceedings. We have family court judges who have engaged in what's described here really as inappropriate behavior, and attempting to interfere with a judicial proceeding here, attempting to basically defame the judicial prosecutors to try to defend one of their colleagues. It really is, as they termed, it really is outrageous. So on the website you can see that, I'll just go ahead and share it here. I've got all this up so you can review it for yourself. So here's the quote I just read you. And there's an excerpt of the 3-page letter from Family Court Judge Stotler to, you can see it for yourself, to Chief Justice Evan Jenkins, trying to ask him to get the judicial disciplinary prosecutors fired for the way they were handling this case. And it's completely destroyed by this report that I've posted in full here. Whoops. This is the closing and the investigation that was spurred by Judge Stotler's letter. Look, March 25th, 2021, he wrote that letter to the Supreme Court and gave it to members of the legislature, to all the other justices, and made all these allegations that basically alleged prosecutorial misconduct, that they acted unfair, that they weren't friendly, that they put the judges under oath, and they shouldn't have done that, that they told them they didn't need lawyers, that they threatened them, all sorts of stuff. And they go through it, they reopened the case, and they went all through all that stuff and just blew it all out of the water. And there's all sorts of juicy tidbits in there about our case and about some of the interrogations, some of the questioning that happened, and what these judges said, and who they were talking to, who was helping them. And it's a behind-the-scenes look at this process that you've never seen before, because it's all usually confidential. And it's all there. It really is one of the most interesting legal documents I've ever seen. Because, I mean, how often is something...
Which begs the difference. Why is it confidential? And it doesn't just state with Virginia. This is nationwide. Every state is doing this.
Thing like this happened before. But these family court judges have bucked up to their own system and tried to fight it just to save one of their own. For what? I don't know. But it's backfiring on them in a dramatic fashion, because now they've doubled down on all these false allegations, and here they are, completely debunked with sworn testimony. I mean, it is absolutely devastating to the allegations made by Judge Stotler, and completely blows everything he said out of the water. Finds it's false. Either he's knowingly making false allegations, or he incompetently didn't even research what he was talking about before he made the allegations. And now an unknown number of others have signed on to it. And this is their resolution. I've also posted it. Resolution of the West Virginia Family Court Judicial Association. And isn't that weird? It was issued the same day as this report came out. If you look at the bottom of it, all right, May 13th, 2021. The same day, I guess that's just good luck for them, isn't it? Bad luck. May 13th, 2021, they issue the same thing, make the same allegations. The judicial disciplinary prosecutors have been dishonest. They've shown blatant disrespect. They've made false statements. They've misused their authority. They've made the same allegations that Judge Stotler made that were blown apart in 51 dramatic pages. And here, they now could be blown apart in another 51 pages in the same way. Yet we don't know what who their identities are, because they're hiding behind this judicial association. And I've sent several FOIA requests out so far to try to find out who we're talking about here. All of the family court judges are members of this association, but we don't know which ones voted for this and which ones didn't. So we asked for a roll call vote. They've so far denied our FOIA request, but I've learned information now that this was, in fact, a voice vote, apparently. I haven't confirmed that, but so that means they kept no record of who voted for it, though there will be a record of who the executive staff was, who the president was. And it mentions, if you read the report, it mentions that there were other family court judges involved in sending the Stotler letter from back in March, including the then president of the organization. So, in fact, I've actually taken screenshots of these and put them up. Again, this is at the website, thecivilrightslawyer.com. You can see just two little excerpts I've taken out where they talk about another family court judge, and that's family court judge Deanna Rock, who was involved, it looks like, in preparing this Stotler letter, and was also involved in helping the defendant judge in the case, in our case, defendant Judge Goldston, in preparing her brief, making allegations against the Judicial Disciplinary Council. So the family court judges have really circled the wagons, and really it looks like put their foot in their mouth, or put their gavel in their mouth here. And questions are raised now. They're out there. They're hiding behind the anonymity, that's what it is. The anonymity of their judicial association. Man, say that one 10 times fast. Anonymity. They're hiding behind it. And except for Judge Stotler, who proudly put it on his official judicial letterhead, perhaps unwisely. But check out the website. I've detailed all this stuff. Now, in hindsight, was it perhaps a bad idea to get involved, if you're a family court judge or any judge, to get involved in a judicial disciplinary prosecution of another judge, and you're not involved in it, but you're just going to insert yourself into it because that's a colleague of yours, or you want to preserve your power as a family court judge? You think you ought to be able to search people's houses, and that's what she was alleged to have done, even though she agreed and admitted that it was illegal and unlawful, that you think she ought to be able to do that, and that you should be able to do that, so you're going to help her fight that. I mean, was that a good idea? What are the potential remedies? Judicial disciplinary complaints and investigation.
I just want to stop there for a second also. And don't realize this, y'all. If this video didn't go viral, we would have never seen the light of day of this. This would have all been covered up, and everybody would have went on their merry little way.
Against them, against each of those judges involved in that, or what about impeachment proceedings? In the end, even the Supreme Court, through the judicial disciplinary process, at worst can only suspend judges. They can only suspend them. They cannot remove them from office. Why? Because they're elected. Who can do that? That is the state legislature. They can impeach judges, and they have done that. There have been Supreme Court judges fairly recently who have been impeached. Is that going to happen? I don't know. There may be or may not be discussion going on about that, and hopefully there will be some news coming out at some point about whether this is going to continue. But these questions need to be asked. And again, we have several pending FOIA requests out there right now. Hopefully, we're going to get some more information on what happened here and what didn't happen here. We also have the federal civil rights lawsuit that's still pending against the judge for the underlying actions in this case, along with law enforcement and another lawyer who was involved. And that's still pending in federal court. And so we'll hopefully have an update on that soon. But it's proceeding as of right now. But check out the website again today, thecivilrightslawyer.com, and I've put this up. I know it has been in the media now a little bit, but really you saw it first here. Just a really amazing 50-page report that really is unprecedented. I've never seen anything like it, but it takes on the family court judges and their blatant display of I don't know what the proper word for it is, but they're just their courage, I guess their courage in attempting to do this thing, to interfere in this case. And as I said from the very beginning, whenever I first heard about this letter, that I don't think that's going to turn out the way that you want it to turn out. And I didn't even know this investigation report was out there and was issued at that time. But I was really, really happy to see it, and I poured through it, and I just think it's awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this. The judicial disciplinary case is being argued at the Supreme Court next month. I believe it's September 17th. So we'll see what happens with that. And again, the separate civil rights lawsuit is still proceeding. So again, check out thecivilrightslawyer.com and you'll find out more information. So read the report for yourself. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time.
All right. So the YouTube channel is Civil Rights Lawyer, and he's out of Virginia, West Virginia. All right. But the reason why I did this is more of anything else is because we don't get to hear, let alone see, what's going on behind closed doors. I mean, he's an attorney, he's dealing with the case and all that. He still don't know these 40 judges is making all these determinations, innocent, guilty, or whatever. He still don't even know their names. And this is nationwide. They're part of the bar union, and you got a set of judges investigating basically themselves, right? And the only reason why I think it's brought up to light is because the video went viral. All right? And I think he actually has it on his YouTube channel, the viral video that was shown. And if you run through there, you'll be able to find it. It's been a while since I've seen it. Now, I may already made a copy or made a video on it too. I can't remember. This was some time back. But I'm interested more of anything else. What is the Supreme Court going to say about this? And the absolute immunity. I wonder if the absolute immunity is going to be in conflict with the Supreme Courts, right? So, well, we can do this and we can do that, but, they have absolute immunity, so, we're stuck where we're at. You know what I mean? So, I'm more interested in the absolute immunity for a remedy for the rest of the states, right? Hopefully we could get some cracks of the absolute immunities on these judges and these attorneys, right? And be able to proceed forward on some remedies that we've been really lost at, especially with anything that has to do with what you call children, all right? CPS, divorce courts, all that, they're not operating within the guidelines of any type of constitution whatsoever. They're their own separate entities. And they go by a totally different set of protecting themselves than even the other judges, right? They're like I said, they're their own separate entities. But I figure, what the heck. Alright, this is Diesel for We the People News. Never, 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 never look just straight forward. Always look around you, for the outside forces may want to commit harm upon you. Until next time, Diesel for We the People News. Bye, y'all.